Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am changing the inverter pump on my 2008 Toyota Prius. Right now I'm just taking the bumper and headlight off.
Look at all that room we got now. You don't have to do this though. This was a easier step. Now I got all this room right here.
There we go.
Look at that.
It only took about 10 minutes. I got it out so far. The next step is to also disconnected this fuse right here. This is one of the, I think it's the headlight power thing. I disconnected that. Now I unscrewed, there was 3 screws, one on each side. Now we can remove this part here. Now this is the hard part because I'm trying not to drain this fluid. So I'm gonna figure out some clamping methods right here. All right, so we take them off, right? Let's just go for it, fuck it. Oh, not bad, not bad. Okay, good, all right. Not bad at all. This other one, I buy that. No, we're good, come on. You got this, Troy. Pink. Toyota antifreeze. Oh, you were right. All right, I think you can let go. There we go. Perfection. Boom. On there nice and tight. Right here, I'm just reapplying the clamps. So I didn't replace the clamps. I kept the previous clamps that were on the previous inverter pump. And I'm just reapplying them. So they're pretty tight. You gotta pull them down towards the indentation mark that you can see right there and just put them back in place. And this keeps the fluid from pretty much leaking out or allowing air to get back into the pipes or tubes. And you guys, this was my first time doing anything like this on my own. I always would go to a mechanic, especially with me doing a long road trip. But I have limited funds and I found the part really cheap online, and I'll even put a link in the description box for you guys on Amazon. It's really affordable. And to be honest with you, it came out perfect. It replacing the pump was probably the hardest part because I didn't want to drain all of the antifreeze and the coolant. So I did have someone help me. This is actually before I went back out on the road to live in my car. So this is in April when I was prepping, buying some new stuff on Amazon for my car, and I realized my inverter pump went out. So you can't run your AC without this, nor can you drive long distance without this. This keeps your electric hybrid engine portion cooled. So you have 2 coolant systems in your hybrid Prius. You have one for your engine, your gas engine, and one for the electric engine. Right now, I'm just screwing back on the screws. I used the new screws that came with the new inverter pump that I purchased off Amazon, and I'm just re-screwing this back on with the wrench. And it has 3 screws. The most important part is the clamps, you guys, and the pipes, the tubes, which I did great. Like I said, you saw the second hand I had holding the clamps for me there. And that's what made it easy is once you clamp those tubes, it pretty much barely anything leaked out. And that's why I wanted to show you guys that in the video, because when I was looking for videos, it was usually one person doing it and they weren't able to show that part. So I made sure I showed you guys that it does leak. You're going to lose a couple ounces of fluid, but you're going to I'm going to show you how to replace that fluid and also how to burp it right after I put this headlight back on here. All this shit is sticking out. This is how you know it's been replaced. You see the movement in there? My vehicle's not even on. It's not even in ready mode. It's just press the power button twice without actually pressing the gas pedal, the brake pedal. So it's not on at all. It's just the electric components are on. That's how you know if the inverter is fully ready to go. Before, I did not have any movement in here. This was just still no turbulence, nothing. So now I know that it's ready. That's honestly the best way to check your see if your inverter pump is working. I'm honestly just gonna top this off a little bit because I think we're supposed to be like a little bit higher there. Just a little bit. I hear it working. You can also put your hands on any of the pipes, the tubes that come out of the inverter pump, and you can feel, I can feel flow. I didn't feel that before. You can feel the coolant moving, getting into this inverter here. You want to make sure you get the pink coolant. This is for Asian vehicles. It's already diluted. It is made for Toyotas above 1990 and up. Pink coolant for Asian, that's all you need. A lot of people say it has to be Toyota. I've seen tons of videos with master mechanics just using this type of stuff, as long as it's the pink kind, made for Asian vehicles. Boom, I don't need a lot. I already got my thing in here. I'm honestly, like I said, just a little bit, because you don't want to overfill this. And I'm just checking to get it right above that fill line right there. But you can't really see it from the outside. Just to be safe, because it's about to be summer and I got a long road trip. That should do. Oh yeah, you can't see it. So can't really see it from this side. There you go, you see it? Fill. This is your bleed valve right here. I did twist it off with a 10 milliliter wrench right here. This is how you bleed it. Burp it, bleed it. Just getting the air out. It's pretty much done now. I had a lot of bubbles coming out a second ago, but I'm doing it by myself and I didn't have anybody to hold the camera or anything. I'm just using this to get whatever extra came out. Just because this is already full. I see I put a little extra in there, so I don't need to add any more. But I think I'm done. I don't see any more bubbles coming out. That's the last step. If you don't do this, then you didn't do it properly, because you're gonna have air inside the tubes, the hose, and at that point that's pointless, because the inverter can't collect air. It only can collect the antifreeze, the coolant, excuse me. So I'm done right here. That's the last step, but I'm about to close it. As you see, it's not any air coming out, so we're gonna tighten that back. To make sure it's on there nice and tight. You really don't have to open it much, because I want to make sure, put your cap back on here, reservoir cap back on here. It should click. There you go. That means it's done. And I'm honestly going to turn the car completely off, and then I just got to put everything back on. I got a few screws I got to put back on for the bumper here that I took off the side of the bumper. Real easy. The headlight has to go back in, and then I gotta put the where'd it go, this plastic cover back on there like that.